multiplying the like terms. If you've got the same last name as me, we can add or subtract. But when the lights go down and darkness comes and they're ready to multiply, it doesn't matter. Anyone in Numberlandia will multiply with anyone else. So while you have 5 times 4 equals 20, he will also hook up with a weirdo with an imaginary friend because that's okay with him, right? So that they just literally, anyone in Numberlandia will hook up, they will multiply with anyone. That's the first thing you got to know today. The second thing I got to know is this. A weird thing happens with I times I. And I need you to actually write this down and memorize it because it's weird. I times I equals I squared. And I squared equals a weird thing. I'm going to tell you why it works, but you're going to be like, what? And you're just going to trust me on this. What I want you to think about real quick is this. What I means is the square root of -1. And if I have 2 of those, I have 2 -1s hiding in there. Now what kids will say, won't that make +1? That's not exactly what happens. What I want you to think about is that they make a twin set. So they are twins, one escapes and one dies. So I times I equals I squared, which is always -1, right? It always turns into -1. If you are multiplying 2 i's, they turn into -1. It's one of those weird things that you just have to memorize. Yes?
And I was curious, so I did the square root of -1 and it just gave me error every time.
Right, because the calculator doesn't know how to convert it into imaginary numbers. It's an algorithm the calculator can't do. So we have to do it on our own, right? So unless you have, are you using a graphing calculator or your phone? Yeah, a graphing calculator may be able to do complex numbers, but a regular scientific will not. That's where it stops. Good question. So you're thinking, what does that mean? Let's try some problems with multiplying these trampy i's. Are you ready? We're just going to do a bunch of them. You're going to write them down and try them. I do, you do, right? So here comes the first one that I'm going to throw at you. Nice and easy. First one we've got going on, we're going to say 5i times 4i. Nice and easy. So they're going to hook up together, and here's what I get. 5 times 4 is 20. I squared. Right now I think to myself, wait, Mrs. Tarantino said that I squared is something weird. It's -1. So what it turns into is -20. So I don't want you to think it cancels. It turns negative. It switches the sign. That's what I want you to think of. 2 i's switch the sign.
So if it's negative, then
it would turn positive. Let's do that. Are you ready? So great question. So try this one, please. -2i times 6i. Give that one a try. So some of you are going to get really fast at this, but I'm going to show all the steps. But if you are starting to realize, hey, I squared just switches my answer sign, that's awesome. But I'm going to show all the steps. You got an answer you like?
Yeah, I was just going to say, is it because like -1 and the negative cancel each other out?
They don't really cancel, they get freed from jail.
Oh.
And they turn into -1.
Okay.
Think of it like they're freeing each other from jail. Good question. So here's what we get. -12 I squared, but then I think to myself, hey, Mrs. Tarantino told us that I squared is -1. So it turns out to be +12. How many people got it? Yeah, we're good? Nice and easy? Yeah, okay. Let's step up our game a little bit, my little lobsters. Gonna get a little hotter in here. How about this? 3i times 2i times 10i. Ooh, now remember, 2 i's, they don't really cancel, they turn into -1, but if they've got an extra one out there, he's just going to be hanging out there. So give it a try, see what you get on this one. once you get the hang of these, they're not bad. But this is literally one of the first times really this year that I'm teaching you something that is completely new. When you get an answer you like, share it with your neighbor. See if they believe you. And remember, if you get it wrong, you are definitely better looking than the people at your table. You're the best one.
Well, no, negative 6.
Yes. So that's a good start.
Okay,
So
but I'm,
here's a hint. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with these two, right?
right,
So I'm gonna get 6i squared.
Negative
And
6
what is
and 10
6i
I.
squared?
that's
I got that
negative
too.
Beautiful.
I wrote that first and then I just.
And now I'm gonna do this guy.
so that'd be negative 60. Oh, it's positive 60.
No, negative
Ah,
60.
negative.
But one of the i's stays. Two of them turn into negative 1.
Oh, so you find the pairs?
Yes, yes, because it really is square roots, right? We're looking for pairs. We're always looking for
Oh, we
pairs.
have to multiply them?
Yeah.
Yes. How'd we do? Yeah, we okay? Well, I'm gonna throw one more of like this up here, and then we're gonna step up our game. This one's gonna be a little weird. Lots of negatives and positives. Maybe do 2 at a time and see if that helps. Here we go. I'm gonna keep the numbers nice and small for us. Negative 1, 2i, negative 4i. What do you get? How do we feel? We feel like feel okay? Let's see. Christina's giving me the thumbs up. I started here and I went negative 10 I squared. Now you're getting fast at this. You're gonna think, oh, that just flips my sign. So now I'm at positive 10. Now I'm gonna do this guy, negative 4i. So I'm gonna get negative 40. Oh, he's got no one to like hook up with. And so that's what I got. How did you do? Nice. Question? Oh, because, so it was negative 10 I squared. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
The I squared changes the sign. It turns into negative 1. So he says, oh, I go away and flip his sign.
Okay.
Good question. Yes.
Wait, why doesn't that happen to the 4? Why does that
Oh,
become positive?
because the 4 has there's no more I's. He needs 2 to make that happen.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't have it. I used up 2 of my eyes. I got 1 left over. So they're like A and S. They always come like in pairs to do that flip thing.
Okay.
So if I got 3 of them, I got 1 left over.
Pairs, right? And then you multiply.
Yep, and I got 1 left over. Okay, here we go, lobsters. A little bit weirder. I like this next one. Okay. Now, at the end of this problem, I'm going to tell you something. So go ahead and do this problem, and then I'm going to tell you that there is a little trick at the end. And my hint is going to be that these Numberlandia, very snobby, kind of prejudicey place. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Here's what we're doing. We're multiplying. We're going here to here. We're just distributing. So let's take a look at what we get. 3 times 5 is going to be 15i. And 3 times 6 is going to be 18i squared. I'm getting to be a pro at that and thinking, oh, that I squared changes the sign. So it's now negative. Now, many of you are like, yay, I got it right. And here's what I got to tell you, especially for my friends going to pre-calc. You would get this marked wrong in pre-calc, and here's why. Numberlandia really is prejudiced. Real guys get to go in the front, and imaginary guys or people with mental issues have to go in the back. So it is negative 18 plus 15i. And the pre-calc teachers will mark that off. It really is, it's the real deal. If you apparently, if you hide your mental issues well, you can go in the front, but if you're, embracing it, you're in the back.
Wait, why is it negative 18?
Oh, good question. Because it was positive 18I squared.
Oh, so that changes it too?
That changes it to a negative.
Okay.
Nice. The more you do it, the more you'll see it. Excellent job. You guys, let's have you guys try one on your own. Here we go. Let's do 5I times negative 6 minus 8I. There you go. And remember at the end, you are supporting their prejudiced, terrible ways. I think this is like the second time I've worn jeans in like 2 years. I just stopped with the pandemic. I don't know how I feel about it. I like comfy clothes now. And it's hot. It's like, I'm so excited. It was Ugg boot weather. It's Ugg boot outside. It's hot in here.
Wait.
Yes. You want to do
The
it?
negative 8I is kind of messing me up.
So let's do it. Here's what I got. Negative 30I. That's good, right? And now what I'm going to get here. So let's take it nice and carefully. Negative 40I squared. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
What does the I squared do?
Make it negative.
Make it change the sign.
Oh.
Because it's -1, right? And -1 times this guy will make him into positive. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, normally I'd be cool with that, but, you know, Numberlandia being what it is. Okay, last part, best part. Put away the phone, please. Emma, put away the phone. Thank you. Okay, here we go. We're going to put my two favorite things together, eye and claw. Here it is. Here we go. So clawing, nice and easy, nice and easy. It's got a cool ending. You'll like the ending on these ones. So here we go. We're going to claw it together. We're going to go 3 times 2, and we're going to get 6. Just normal, nothing weird. And then 3 times -4i. They're going to hook up, but they don't have, it's just going to be -12i. Not I squared. Nothing weird there. We're going to get, oh, damn, I didn't want this to happen. Should I keep going? I'll keep going. It's okay. It's kind of interesting. 6 times 2 is 12i. And then finally, way over here, 6 times -4 is -24i squared. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work here. So let's start in the back. I don't like I squared. That becomes -1. What does it do to the sign here?
Positive.
Positive. Beautiful. So that's gone. Now let's clean it up. Let's put our real numbers with our real numbers. 6 and 24 make 30. And watch this one. It's kind of cool. I didn't mean this to happen. -12i and +12i cancel out. That's the answer to that. Kind of trippy that whole thing makes 30. Yes. Show you what? How I got 30? 6 plus 24. Right? And then -12 and +12 cancel out. Yep. You good, kid? Okay, here's one for you to do. Last one. This is it. There you go. Give it a try. This is your last one for today. That's nothing. That's a separate thing I want to talk about. I'm just reminding myself to do it. Harrison, do the problem. And I'll leave you alone. When you have an answer you like, this is your last time today that you're gonna lord it over someone near you and show how smart you are, or you're gonna say to yourself, yeah, I got it wrong, but I am so much better looking than you are. Just keep that in mind, because it's
You
true.
know, I'll stick with that.
Always
Stick
happens
that.
that way.
Can't give up.
Here I go. I'm gonna get 35 plus 21i plus 10i, and here's where it's gonna get a little weird, plus 6i squared. So I'm gonna start in the back. 6i squared turns into negative 6. Boom.
Sorry, COVID kids.
So what I have, I'm gonna have 29, that's 35 to take away 6, plus 31i. Can I see a wiggle of fingers if you got it? Nicely done. The last thing I'm gonna say is you've got a few problems that look like this, guy. You know what you're gonna do? Write it twice and then claw it. Right? Right, just write it twice, claw it out. Your homework's on the other side.
How many do you have to do?
I'm going to tell you what you have to do. I would like everyone to please do number 16 and 17 and 12 other problems. Okay? 16, 17, and 12 others. 16, 17, and 12 others.
Should I end it?
Thank you. You are by COVID.